Guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. I did a story last week about this young lady right here. This is 33-year-old Breyanna Sotomayor. And today marks the 1 year anniversary, or not even an anniversary, just 1 year to this day of her murder by this guy right here, David Perry, age 35, her ex-boyfriend. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story I covered, if you guys been keeping up with me, last Saturday, as a matter of fact, about how this guy helped this woman move into her home, her temporary Airbnb, until her new place was ready, and killed her not even 24 hours after she moved into that place, and then escaped. And what's worse than that, guys, is this man right here, David Perry, did her real dirty, killed her, and left her there for her children to find, her 3 children, ages 5, 5, and 6 years old. She had a set of twins. The next morning, she was stabbed multiple times, beaten, and had blunt force trauma. The reason why we're talking about this today is he's came up for a plea deal, and a plea deal is on the table. And I want you to pay attention to the situation of what's going to be said in this video, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk a little bit about plea deals and the justice system, and why I honestly think, you know, when these crimes, no matter how horrific, it's always a guideline in place to take the human element out of it, and it's a choosing of money over effort to really bring justice to somebody. Look.
The man accused of killing his girlfriend while her 3 young children were in the house is hoping for a plea deal. 35-year-old David Perry was in court this morning.
Yeah, his trial date was pushed back until both sides can sit down, discuss the case. As News 3's Denise Rosh explains, the victim's mother is simply asking for justice.
This Saturday marks exactly 1 year since Breyanna Sotomayor was found murdered inside a local Airbnb. That case now moving through the court system here at the Regional Justice Center. A settlement hearing is scheduled for next week.
Nevada versus David Perry.
David Perry remained silent during a brief court appearance Thursday morning, charged with murder and 3 counts of child abuse, neglect, or endangerment. His case was scheduled for trial in early February, a date that has now been pushed back.
So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to vacate the jury trial and the calendar call. The motion to continue is granted.
Attorneys on both sides agreeing to a settlement hearing to try to avoid taking the case to a jury.
A settlement how? He murdered her 3 different ways. Blunt trauma, the 5 stab wounds, and he strangled her.
Tisa Williams is the mother of Breyanna Sotomayor, who was found dead in a southwest Las Vegas home last year. Her 3 children, 6-year-old twins and a 5-year-old, waking up that morning to find their mother bleeding. The children then using an iPad to call their grandmother in California.
She said, "Well, Granny, I think Mom's dead because she won't get up."
Clark County firefighters, who were first to respond, called police for assistance.
We're on scene. We arrived there for a 32-year-old female who is 419, not natural. There's a bunch of kids in this house. It's an Airbnb, it looks like. The mother was actually stabbed multiple times.
Prosecutors say Sotomayor and Perry had been dating, Perry helping move his girlfriend and her children into the rented home the day before the murder. Their comings and goings documented on video. The owner of the home placing this call to police.
I'm the Airbnb owner, and I have guests that's been in my residence. And there's police and paramedics there. I'm looking on my Ring cameras, and I don't want to lose any of that information in case the deputies need that info.
As for Williams, she worries about the lasting memories her grandchildren will carry with them.
He could have closed that door, Denise. He could have closed that door and gathered them 3 babies up and said, "Well, you know, your mom went to work at the office," or anything. and took them out of there.
And she hopes her opinion will matter if or when a plea deal is offered. And Williams plans to be here next week for that settlement hearing. She says to this day she feels lost without her daughter. Denise Rosh, News 3.
You heard her. She said, why didn't she just close that door with that man? And also she said, they said she's lost without a daughter. Well, she ain't the only one. This fragmented the lives of the other 3 children. I think it was 4 children. I think she had a 4th child, but I'm not sure, but we'll focus on the 3. 3 children fragmented their lives, took something away from them that they desperately needed. A mother just like everybody else. This guy's a fucking coward. He's standing up in the court looking stupid as hell, like Bismarcky or somebody. Shout out to the Biz. But you understand what I'm saying? I want you to think about something. I looked this up yesterday. To do a trial, right? To bring somebody to trial, jury and everything else, depending on where you're at, the city that you're at, and depending on the severities of the case, it could run anywhere between tens of thousands to over $100,000, and sometimes close to $1 million, depending on where you live. These people don't want to spend city resources to bring up a trial and all this stuff and have somebody that they know is the ones that did it, leave it up to the people of that state to decide the fate of this person. So what they'll do, they'll come out with a plea deal. Just say you did this and we'll take off other things that you did. Always in negotiation with fucking killers. Nobody negotiates. She couldn't negotiate for her life. Blunt force trauma to her. He didn't negotiate then. Stabbed her 5 times. Didn't negotiate with her then. Strangled her as she took her last breath. He didn't negotiate with her then. I want you to think about that. The whole justice system is a fucking joke and it needs to be fixed. What the fuck you got courtrooms for if people are just going to come in there, sign papers and get the fuck out? I want you to really think about that. A mother is gone. Woman is gone. She was important. She got her own place because she was staying with him and they got what? Evicted. She got 3 kids. He got his dumbass, bum-ass self. She's scrambling, gets an Airbnb until her place is ready. He helps her move in, and all of a sudden she dead the next day. Did you hear the neighbor? And shout out to the neighbor. Hey, I got all the information here, the comings and goings. Something bad over there happened. Use my footage. I'm not going to erase it, and it was good for her. It's no damn way. This guy does what he does with these children in the house, laying in the bed, goes and does what he does, runs out of there with a bathrobe on, trying to close the door with the hand around the back to stop his fingerprints. Got him on ring doorbell cam, everything, fleeing the scene. Lady got it. You got some explaining to do. Get up on that stand or whatever. Fuck the money. Stop picking the money over people and do something. That's the thing. Won't. They won't. Because they're always picking money over people. That's a horrific death. All 3 of them could cause death by themselves, those violent acts. This guy, if you look at all this stuff, blunt force trauma, stabbed 5 times, strangled, that's a struggle. She fought for her life and lost. And lost. But she fought for her life. Children in the other room, what you think her last thought was? What you think the driving force of her trying to get this maniac off of her was? Her babies that she'll never see again. And all you want to do is go in there? Let's go back and forth. The grandma, I'm like, what the fuck? And that's the thing that's crazy. You are the surviving family of victims, and they come in there, oh, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give them this. We're going to take that off. How do you feel about that? No, we don't want that. We don't want that. And then they'll come back, well, this is the best we can do. And then they try to coerce you into believing it. It's like almost selling somebody a used car. A salesman. Well, the deal can't get no better than this. You should not negotiate murdered people's lives like they was a car or something that a payment must be due and it has to be feasible for the person that fucked their life up. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Think about that. I mean, that was on my mind yesterday. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And this happens all over. They revolutionized the justice system, and that's not justice. It's a negotiation with a killer, and nobody deserves that. Nobody. Fuck this. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I go off on this channel a lot of times because I think deeply about if I was in that position of a surviving family member, how I would feel if that was my daughter. These motherfuckers don't do that. It's business as usual. They get desensitized to these vile crimes, and then let's go to the book and see what the book is. Common sense. Take him outside to the wood chipper right now. All of them. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.